嘘が下手なくせに笑えない笑顔を見せた I love you もろくに言わない口下手でどんなに不器用なのにどうして
All right. Welcome to a very special Dwelling of Duels banner artist breakdown. I'm your host, Evil Sonic. Joining us today, all the way over in Finland, is Leo Val, who did this previous month's banner art for the Dwelling of Duels and Pixel Mixers crossover month, Diegetic Music. If you are watching the screen, that makes sense because that's what people do on Twitch. So if you are watching that screen, you will see very slowly moving in the background from one side to the other that art. But we want to give a better look at that, so I'm just gonna let's pop that up on the screen right there for a second. Barely covers some of those cameras, but you can get a better look at it here. Let's pop that out. Let's make that bigger. So, yeah, that is some beautiful art.
Yeah, thank you.
Joined by this beautiful bearded man with me here today. Leo, welcome. Thank you for coming on. I'm glad we were able to do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was an exciting month for us over at DoD to be able to do this with Pixel Mixers, and we wanted to make sure that when we were choosing an artist, it was somebody that had some history with the Pixel Mixers group. And
right.
When we asked around, and your name came up, unsurprisingly.
Yeah.
I might be getting ahead of myself a little bit, because usually when I do these things, I do stuff like say welcome and let's introduce yourself, Leo. Hi and welcome. Anything that you'd like to start off saying today? Joining us here on this DoD Pixel Mixers crossover breakdown.
Yeah, thanks for having me and asking me firstly, even for doing the artwork.
And, yeah, it's beautiful stuff.
Yeah, and yeah, I've been doing album artwork for Pixel Mixers since 2018, 17, somewhere there.
Wow.
And that's
coming up on the
10th
anniversary.
Yeah. And that's actually what kind of sparked me back into making digital art anyway. And it was like the perfect push.
Yeah.
In a way that then I started to like really focus and get better at making art. And it's basically all thanks to Pixel Mixers.
That's excellent. That's one of my favorite things about these communities is, you show up and it's about video game music, and you sort of expect, okay, if I get into this, I'm going to be doing some more music, and that's great. But yeah, it's also just that community aspect of people sharing their creative sides and doing these things together, sometimes with like a theme that can really get the creative juices flowing, or some kind of a challenge, or having that deadline, that consistent routine. It sparks other things too. I'll never miss an opportunity to embarrass and praise my wife Andromeda, who's incredibly talented, and we started making music here in DoD for a while, but over the past year or two, she's been doing more on the art side, and some of that has been seeing what DoD people are up to. A lot of that is just all her, but it's also there have been times where she's done art for DoD stuff here and there, and it's just really cool being surrounded by people, seeing what they're up to, and how that can get you, whether it's to revisit something you used to do in the past, or introduce you to something new. And you mentioned Pixel Mixers is what got you, kind of pushed you back into digital art, and that is a statement that invites further questions, because I can just feel the possibility of what else is going on in there. So, first of all, I'm going to analyze this statement. You said that it pushed you back into digital art. So what this tells me is that there was a time you used to do digital art.
Yes.
You scaled it back a little bit, and then Pixel Mixers brought you back in.
Yes.
So that's one thing. It also tells me that there are other styles of art that you've been engaging in, other forms and different techniques or media, not mediums. Mediums are size of pants you go to get. Media is the plural of medium. So that's some pretty cool stuff. Do you want to tell us a little bit about just whether you go over like different styles, techniques, influences, and inspirations, or if it was just, you remember when you were 3 years old and you drew a cat and you just landed with you. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your history with surrounding art?
Sure. Well, if we go way into the beginning, it was mostly just comic books, anime, cartoons, or whatever that kind of sparked me, like drawing Goku from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
and whatever I found online that seemed interesting, and like I tried to copy other artists' work, and and I got really into like copying in detail some pictures just with pencil. And I remember once doing this one cowboy painting. I, for the life of me, can't remember the painter's name, but I tried to recreate it in pencil as precisely as possible, like at age 10 or something.
Yeah.
And I spent on it for like, I don't know, a week or something. That's kind of difficult for a child to do constantly.
Yeah.
Or like spend a lot of time in doing something singular.
that's going to require some attention span.
Yeah.
For a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
I never, I did a little art. I never really stuck with it, but I totally forgot about this, and I've done I don't know how many of these interviews right now, and but I just remembered that I did a single art class in high school, and I made like a handful of things that I would be proud of, but it's not a thing that I stuck with. What I usually remember is just when I was, like 8 years old, and I would draw Calvin and Hobbes, like my own stories of Calvin and Hobbes, which that's, I think, I don't know if it's probably true of most artists, but there is definitely a little bit more of a nerd bent in this community where we're going to gear towards comics and comic books and anime and things. I'm sure there are other, less nerdy artists who draw things they like from TV and stuff, but I like to imagine that they all just started out, painting castles and still lifes when they were 2. If you're not a nerd, that you go the very formal route, but the real ones like you, this is where we start.
Yeah, exactly. Like drawing the inspiration stuff, or just whatever interests you at the time.
And oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna continue that I kept drawing with pencils until like 20 something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I tried digital art every now and then, in between, like my dad had a tablet that I tried for a while, and then I bought my own, at some point, and then it was like on and off because I couldn't quite get the interface with the tablet because it's so different than just drawing directly on paper. But then when Pixel Mixers was searching for an artist for one of their albums, and I was like, maybe I'll give it a proper shot this time. And then I just stuck with it and forced myself to get used to the disconnect when you draw on a tablet or a digital screen. What's it called? Drawing screen.
Yeah. I think using a tablet or digital, I guess maybe like referring to it as like a stylus or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I know that's something. This is one of those things where I always joke about how we really need somebody who knows more about art to do these interviews, because I know so little about art. But I do know that like when you're doing things digitally, the stylus matter, like the pen you have matters because of how responsive it is and how it responds to pressure.
Yeah.
And that on the tablet itself, there are all these different brushes or pens or all these different things that have it can make a really big impact and at what the final result looks like. And it sounded like, so this is something you mentioned that it took a little bit of time to get used to that feeling of not having the physical thing. Is it something that you enjoy, or has it grown on you, or is it still something a little bit more like you prefer doing things with a real thing, something in your hand that you can touch and feel as you apply color to the surface?
Yeah, I've gotten used to it now, and I almost prefer now the digital way of doing things.
I feel like that's true for so many people and so many things. I think about that with music and sound too.
But then again, if I want to do like a pencil work, then nothing beats a real pencil and paper. I mean, it's difficult to recreate some types of art styles, I guess, or medium styles digitally. It's possible, but if I want to make digital paper drawing, I just rather do it on paper then and scan it to show it around. But that said, I still do want to get into more traditional works as well at some point. I don't know when, because that's
always
also
the big question.
Yeah,
it's the never-ending list of things we want to do.
Yeah. Like, when do you have time to learn a new method of art? Like, especially something like oils or traditional watercolor or whatever. Like, it works so much differently than digital, because in digital you can just hack it.
Yeah, and I mean, that raises that we can talk about this as much or as little as you like, but one of the things I know you mentioned the other day is how you've recently made the jump into full-time professional art, and that's one of the things I often think about, especially when it comes to creative endeavors, because it can be challenging sometimes. That there are some people, myself included, although I'm not talented enough at anything to do creative stuff for money, but that separation of finances from the things you enjoy, but also when you are good at something, and especially in this day and age when so much of the work that is out there is so mind-numbing, and it's sometimes it's not enough to survive, but to live you gotta do something you love doing.
Yeah.
Like I said, we can talk about this as much or as little as you like.
Sure.
But is there anything you'd like to share just about this process, or some of the things that you've experienced or noticed as you've made that shift to being a professional artist?
Well, I've been trying to get professional for 6 months now, more than 6 months, and it's been tough. Not gonna lie. I've sent like 50 or so emails to different companies or whatever. Like, here's my portfolio, and I've got like 7 responses back that, hey, cool portfolio, we'll contact you at some point. I was like, great.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just, I don't know, trying to get better so that I get noticed is one of the things. Like,
Better is that's such a dangerous term.
It is, yeah. But there's always something where you can improve in your workflow, maybe more in the workflow that you do, not necessarily what the final piece is gonna be. Like, being more efficient, getting the final work is maybe more like what I'm focusing on. Yeah, and then just trying to churn out as much art as possible for people to see, and hopefully the right eyes see it, and I get to work.
Exactly. That is the big thing. Is it's always a matter of you never know who's on the other side of that door, and I think that's true in a lot of fields where it's sort of like where you are selling yourself, like whether it's as an artist or as a professional. Like I provide financial advice, and it's similar in that, like, you put yourself out there, you hope you do a thing that gets you noticed. For me, I'm not going to go out and show like a portfolio report. Nobody's going to want to look at that and say, this is the guy. So, but like in your case, you have your portfolio, your breadth of work. And for anyone who is who missed it, I just shared Leo's imprint store link, and I've got that pinned up in the chat.
Thanks.
And that's where you have a lot of really, really excellent, cool pieces of things that you've done, oh man, that might be a really nice segue into looking at some of the art that you shared. We can do a slideshow.
Oh yeah.
Is there anything else you want to talk about, like just on the professional side? I'm happy to help you. Boost boost your links, your social media presence. Anything we want to share before we put some stuff on the screen.
I can type in my portfolio site in the chat as well. So
you know what?
That portfolio site has all the, like, there's contact forms and everything, pretty much almost everything that I do in a daily basis, and of course the art itself. And can contact me there. There's some commission prices as well that are kind of in about what something could cost to do. And but almost always I ask for the client, like, what's your budget? And then I'll go from there that, okay, I think I can do about this for that amount. I
just updated the pin.
Nice. Yeah.
So we've got both. If you want to check out where you can purchase some of the art that's available on the imprint thread, or if you want to just see Leo Val's art. And I love
Yeah.
I love that URL and your name, because it just
Yeah.
like you look at that and it's impossible not to just see love popping out. And I think I know that probably sounds a little cheesy, but I think when it comes to art, that's not a bad thing. That's kind of special.
Nice.
So, excellent. And yeah, so we've got a slideshow here. I'm gonna take a second just to turn off the art in the background, otherwise it'll be distracting. Let's go back to the two cams, turn off our cameras for a second, and turn on the art show. Let's see. Okay, hopefully they can hear us now, because I am oh so very good at streaming and doing these things correctly. But yes, apologies everyone. I forgot the cameras and the microphones were linked. So if I turn off the camera, it loses the audio. And one of these days, I will be smart instead of the other thing. So hopefully everyone was able to take this time to look at this incredible book cover art. And you were saying that you hadn't done too many full spreads.
Yeah. So this was just a project to get full spread book cover stuff for my portfolio. And I almost landed a job with this one, but then they had picked someone else after a few email changes. But yeah, a lot of people like this one.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's beautiful. I mean, I can just tell from when you see it like this and it's all laid out, it's a beautiful, well composed image that just has such a story in there. But I'm also thinking about this, if you are holding it as a book, the story is very different when you are just looking at the front versus when you are looking at just the back and then seeing it all laid out together. Like that's really excellent.
I wasn't quite planning it from the start that it would be like this, but it just happened to be.
I mean, that's the sign of good composition and just how a good layout.
But yeah, it's a funny piece also, in a way that it started from a photo study of this lady in the sheer dress, and something about it just made me think, oh, maybe she could be leaning on a coffin, and it went from there.
It's dark. I just love the the contrast, the light and dark. It's
Mm.
and all the other words that I would know how to choose if I was better learned in the art styles. But anything else you want to share on this one before we look at the next image?
Well, actually, now that Christopher popped on the chat, he's probably the inspiration for all the silvery details around the artwork.
Oh,
he's,
yeah.
He's another excellent artist who I can thank for mentoring me a few times on my
That's
art
excellent.
journey.
It's always good when they're talented, experienced friends who can help us along the way.
For sure, yeah.
So let's take a look. All right, this one. This one's nice and creepy. I love it.
Yeah.
So if there's a story being told here, there seems to have been some kind of a disagreement between.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I wanted to leave it pretty like you can make up whatever had happened or is happening. Like,
yeah, and actually not.
Yeah, it's not quite clear.
It's like a Rorschach test. Like, is the knife? Did she put the knife there? Is she going to take the knife out?
Exactly. It's for you to decide what you wanted.
And there's so much detail in the background too.
Yeah.
That hopefully it's large enough on the screen that people can make out. But I see several bodies and faces going on in there, more than just the two front and center.
Yeah, I like to do that a lot, and whenever I can, if the piece requires it, like add a lot of kind of small story elements that you kind of try to piece together the longer you look at the piece. But if I can, I won't like tell it straight, like you get it right away.
Yeah, to leave it open to interpretation.
Yeah.
Without revealing too much of, the story that's unfolding here, are there any particular inspirations or sources that sort of informed this? If there's a I mean, I love mythology and folklore, and I mean, obviously there are so many characters and creatures that come up throughout the years across, all over the world. But is there anything that was sort of unique to what we're seeing here?
No, not really. I started last year doing kind of this mermaid thing that is happening in the art spaces online. That during the month of May, a lot of artists do mermaid pieces. So some people who are nuts do one every day. But
Yeah.
I was like, I'll do just one for the duration of the month. So this is my so this is my second one now. So this is like 2026 mermaid piece. So I'm gonna try to do one next year as well. But it was like just I started sketching and then was like thinking, what do I put here? Is it some kind of an object that she's grabbing, the mermaid, or what is it? And then I figured, oh, maybe it's a dude. And it kind of evolved the further I got along with it. And at some point the knife came in, and then I was like, oh, maybe there's like a fire underneath over the water, and people are falling in, and it, just putting more and more stuff until I'm like, yeah, okay, now it's enough.
And that's certainly, you know, that's a month-long project. That's not something you could turn out in a day.
No, yeah. This maybe took like a week and a half or a week
Yeah.
or something like that. That's about as long as I take with like a big piece. It's like a week of
Yeah.
work. Depending.
Long enough that you can let the idea sit and develop. Because, you know,
Sure,
like you
yeah.
said, as you were working on this, the ideas came about what might also be part of it. So yeah, it's one of those things. It's, you know, you can't give yourself forever because then nothing's ever finished.
Exactly.
But it's also how do you give yourself enough time to really let it develop and let it, you know, let the discoveries come.
Yeah, and that has been like a skill that I needed to develop as well over the years. Is that okay? I need to let go and move on.
Yeah.
To another piece.
All right, I think this might be the one that you were worried that it might be too much blood going on.
Yeah.
I think for this crowd, that's I mean, Dwelling of Duels, we've got all our fonts are dripping in blood. Like we're cool with it.
Oh right, yeah.
We're not squeamish.
Yeah, that's good.
And I should add, I mean, this is one of those things I forget to add, but these are all, what we've seen so far, these are all digital?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I figured, but it's also one of those things like, oh, I should check, and we can talk about that too.
I do try to like emulate a little bit of traditional looks to my digital work. Like having textured brushes so that they show like kind of bumps and the canvas texture that would be on a real traditional painting, kind of imitate the look of a traditional painting. Yeah.
When did you do this one?
This was early this year, March or something.
Okay.
Along this line. This was for a competition called Unreal Björnament, held by Björn Huri, who is like an industry veteran artist in the video game industry.
Okay.
Yeah. I only got to round one. It was like 100 artists versus 100 artists.
Oh.
And every time it got like cut in half until there was like one-on-one or something like that.
How long does that so that's awesome.
Yeah.
There are rounds. I know, like,
Yes.
we talk about how Dwelling of Duels and Pixel Mixers, there's this level of contest, but it's really just like we have an excuse to make music once a month and share it. And
yeah.
But with what you're describing, it's like a real, you know, head-to-head kind of bracket.
Yeah.
So so the whole thing, you know, all the different rounds, how long does that usually take?
It's about 6 months, I think.
Whoa.
All in all, like it's if I remember correctly, it's 2 or 3 weeks for you to make the artwork, and then 1 to 2 weeks for the judges to judge the artworks.
Okay.
And then it repeats again. So you can imagine that taking a little bit of time until we get to one-on-one with 100 participants. But yeah, sadly, this was my second time, and I only got to round one.
Oh, well, I mean, it looks incredible. Was there a prompt for it, or?
Yeah, it was. Gosh, I do have the notes for it somewhere. It was object gave otherworldly powers. Yeah,
Okay.
and the
And I
object
just
here
realized those are
being the
hands
knife.
coming out of the.
Yeah.
That's. Oof, that's crazy. I love this.
Thank you.
So yeah, how often does this contest happen? I mean, it takes 6 months. You know,
Roughly 6
I'm
months. Something like that. Once a year, if Bjorn himself is available to do it.
Yeah.
I think. I'm not sure if it's been every year, but I think he tries to have it every year if he can from the busyness of being in the video game business.
Yeah. That's excellent. Anything else you want to share about this piece?
No, I can't think
Right.
of anything that's special about it other than the competition.
I mean, it's the competition piece is cool, but the look of it is also excellent. Now this one that we're looking
Yeah.
at, this was the first one you sent me.
Yeah. This is something I always point to, like what was my most important piece. This was just like the first one that I really sat with it and didn't rush at all. Took my time because before this point, around 2018, I was kind of rushing every piece because I was thinking like a good artist does fast work. And but that meant that I didn't really like ingest any of the skills into me. Like I didn't spend enough time with my references and what have you. So and this like Christopher again helped with this one, like with the changes. I asked for feedback and stuff, and yeah, all in all, it took like 80 hours to get finished, and probably these days I could done it in half, probably faster. But at that time, it was really important for me to like nail the rendering and the lighting, and and spend the time and learn what it takes to do the quality of art that I want to do. I mean, it's still not like, now that I look at it, it's not that great in my eyes. But
I mean, we're always our worst critics, especially if it's something that we've that's from a while ago.
Yeah,
but
given
this
that
one's so striking.
But given that I had been drawing only or digitally painting for just a year or two, and I managed to do this, was like, okay, I can do really high quality art if I just put time on it and just relax. And that was the key. And then it was just every new painting, it's like I'm a little faster and I can do much more if I just pay attention when I'm painting.
And something, I mean, just when I look at this, the thing that jumps out at me the most is just the delineation on either side. Like, it's not symmetrical. On one shoulder, there's, what is that, a pauldron?
Something like that.
Yeah. And then on the other forearm, there's the band, and there's what looks like to be a wedding ring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's and just the use of light in it, like how one side is that much darker than the other.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
originally it was a lot more symmetrical, but one of the critiques was that maybe make it more asymmetrical, so that it has a bit more balance to it.
Yeah.
It has more interest in a way.
Yeah, the asymmetry. I mean, I always feel like when you have two sides and there's an asymmetry, it's creating not necessarily a conflict, but a distinction, and the things that are distinct from one side to the other become, interesting because of their contrast. I think I could be really dumb about all this, but
No. That sounds pretty pretty right.
all right. Next, I think this next image we're seeing, this I might have a little bit out of order
Yeah.
from what was intended.
Sure.
No, I think this is one of the pieces that informed the Diegetic banner. Is that right?
Yeah. So this is from Claire Obscure, the Expedition 33 video game.
Mm-hmm.
And like when I started when you sent me like the what the idea was for the artwork, I was like, Diegetic music. Oh God, how do I show this? And I made like a big list of video games where you can, as the character, hear the music inside the game.
Yeah.
And I was like wrecking my brain, like which game has it shown in an interesting way. And my first thought was to use Alan Wake.
Okay.
Because there's like there's a lot of radios and TVs, but then I was thinking that's not visually so interesting.
Yeah.
So then I remembered that in this game, in the beginning of the game, there's this character who's playing an acoustic guitar, and there's a crowd listening to her, or seemingly listening to her. They're just NPCs doing whatever. They are not really paying any attention to the character, which is kind of odd that they didn't spend.
That also that makes it interesting when you're telling your story through the art, because maybe maybe it's happening and nobody's noticing, or maybe there is somebody who notices, and that's you get to capture that moment.
Yeah. So I went into the game, and the game has its own photo mode, and I just played the game enough to get into this point. It's about an hour into the game, and then I just started to take shots of the scene from many different angles, and this was one of the ideas that I was thinking about using for the banner. But I decided that it's way too complex for what we are trying to do, and then trying to put all the text in there. It felt way too busy.
Yeah.
So I decided against using this one.
And this is this next shot here. This is much more the basis for what you ended up with.
Yes. So this is took the photo in there, and there was a couple of this same angle, but about a month ago I lost my C drive with all the pictures of the session. So these two are the only ones that got saved. But yeah, this was the reference I used. It's almost 1-to-1.
There are a few differences. I can put the so just as the counterpoint, like the character to the left is facing the musician now instead of looking, walking towards the camera.
Yeah, that's exactly like what I was saying. Like none of the NPCs in the game were really like looking at the player or the
Yeah.
character playing the guitar. It was like that's kind of funny. I didn't notice it when I was the first time playing it. So then I had to do some choices on like switching the guy on the left and
Yeah.
show his backside more.
And
Yeah,
so while this one's on the screen, the white and red spots in this image, it's not really clear to me what those are.
yeah,
And then in what you did, just gonna wait for the stream to catch up, but it's very clearly like those look like rose petals to me.
yeah. They
And
are.
that's an
I'm
interesting
not sure.
choice.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they are rose petals in the video game, but there is like there's a lot of flowers in the video game. But yeah, I decided to add like a huge bunch of them
Yeah.
on the scene, just to guide the eye a little bit as well.
And it gives it some really nice color.
Yeah, and a little bit of depth as well. I was debating, will I use like this fake lens blur on the artwork, but I decided it looks nice. It separates the character nicely as well.
Yeah. And it's as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking about some of the other pieces that we were looking at earlier. It reminds me of the book cover.
Yeah.
Because it does have this sort of full spread scene to it. And if you're just looking at the right side, you're seeing the musician, and that's one piece of it. And you're looking at the left side, it's that active participation of watching and listening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's some really cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of one of the kind of difficulty in this theme, is to just like, how do I show that people are listening or like taking in the music?
That it is part of the story.
Yeah. Yes. And I think I managed to do it.
I think, incredibly well.
Thank you.
You mentioned that you were going through like a list of games that had diegetic music. What were some of the other ones that you had been thinking about?
Ooh, there's like a frame in the time lapse right in the beginning where there's like a list I did.
Should we start that one up now?
Sure.
Okay.
It might go so fast. Let me try to pull up the like it's gone.
Yeah. We'll start it over again, and I wonder if there's a way I can do.
Pause it right though.
We'll do it 100 speed the first time through, and then we'll slow it down.
Yeah. And also, like the first sketches that I did were, one was I was thinking about the Witcher 3 scene in the bar. What was it?
The Last Wish.
What was it? The Last Wish? The song? The
I think so.
woman, the woman bard playing.
Yeah, that's actually the first song I did with my wife Andromeda was that. Okay, so let me bring up the properties here. So we'll do. Let's turn it down to 50%. We'll do half speed.
I actually got the file for myself as well.
Oh, that goes by so quick. Let me put it down even slower so we can. I think at the beginning, it's cool to see like all the ideas in the process, and then towards the end, the end, that's where we really want to see a time lapse. But
Yeah.
okay, I think it's moving. It's moving very, very slowly. I might have made this too slow. 10%. And of course it starts over.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. This is a nice pace.
Yeah, so like first I started with like really small versions of the ideas and then kind of blew them up.
What's this
And
one that
this-
we're seeing?
Oh, this was a scene from Final Fantasy VIII, the dance scene with
Okay.
Reno and Squall. It was supposed to be, but then I was like, no. it's gonna be so difficult to do. And
Now,
there
who's
wasn't
this?
really good references. And this one was from a very obscure game. Just now don't remember. I need to open up Steam.
I'll try to pause it. I paused it, but the stream's catching up, so... Yeah, here we go. What's on the screen right now is paused. Is this the obscure one, or did we move on to another thing?
They have it just right. Abyss Odyssey. So I was trying to do a character from that game.
Arcus Odyssey?
Abyss Odyssey. It's like I don't know what kind of like an action game. 2D Metroidvania kind of.
Okay.
A really difficult game. But yeah, there was this kind of first I kind of misremembered the character, then I opened the game and played it for a while and it looks like this. Actually.
And is that what I just paused on up here? It looks very different
Yeah,
from
yeah.
what we were just seeing.
I totally misremembered how the character looked like that. It was playing a violin, not a guitar.
Yeah.
But there was
So
a
that's-
character who played guitar in it.
The devil and a fiddle by the look of it.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of the enemies in the game that you fight against.
And this looks very familiar to me. So
Yeah.
This is where you landed on it by doing the Claire Obscura game.
Yes. This first was like just eyeballing it, and then I really took the reference like up close and started to like almost trace it to get it right. Especially because the buildings, oh god, they're always so difficult to get right. Especially at the time, I didn't have really good tools for doing straight lines. For some reason, that's really difficult to do digitally.
I could see that because so much of what you're trying to do digitally is where you're trying to do the things from a traditional art style. Like that's my understanding, is that when you're doing the digital art, it's trying to replicate what's real, but that could also make it, those perfect lines or perfect circles become a little more challenging.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I never really would have thought of that, but
yeah, because in traditional work you have rulers and certain like pre-made circle rulers, I guess, also called, that you can use. But for some reason, no one's done a good tool for that in most digital art programs. Like the it pops in here, the straight lines and stuff. I had to use a totally different program to do that.
Oh,
And that's why it just jumps in with the straight lines here. Yeah. And especially if you need to do like perspective stuff, that the lines converge correctly. So yeah, for whatever reason, that seems to be something that most of the arts programs cannot do in an intuitive way. But now I do have a pretty good program for doing
excellent.
perspective, or like this kind of architecture stuff. At least it's much easier now.
And it's going pretty slowly now, but this is where we see the colors coming into it. And then they disappear and they come back again.
Yeah.
That's the thing I'm always amused by with digital art, is how the layers work and how you can, pull something and add it back in. And I really like that blue in the sky there.
Yeah, it's really kind of useful when you can just pull something out for a while and put it back in when you need it.
Yeah.
And it also helps to like refresh your eyes for the piece as well. I'm not sure if this shows it, but I did have like 2 black bars on the side to like see what if this would be even more cropped in, and see if the composition works with that as well.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's stunning. I love this. This is the great thing. Like, there's so many great artists around these communities, and I'm always so impressed by, like, we'll just come up with an idea and say like, hey, this is the month, this is the theme this month. Can you make a art for it? And it is always an absolute treat.
Yeah, nice. There was like a screenshot from the game that I
thought I saw something like that.
Put in like, I can't be bothered to try to figure out, because like painting blurry people is really difficult.
That's with music too. Like that's something that I've tried to do before, where you want the music to sound, kind of messy, but if you it's one of those things where it, at least in my experience and with making music, you start by making it sound clean, and once it sounds good, then you make it blurry or distorted.
Exactly.
Like if it's supposed to be like coming from a distant room or in a crowded area or something where it's not supposed to sound perfect. If you're starting from a place of imperfection, it just makes it messy in a way that's hard to follow, rather than part of the story. I always like it when there's that kind of crossover, that sensibility between, the similarities of how you make sound and how you make image. So that's cool stuff. So this time lapse is great. I think we're at the part now where having it at super slow speed loses some of the effect. But here's what I'll do is we're at about 40 seconds. I'll put it back to full speed. Let's take another look at this. It's a quick minute. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. It's like 40 hours condensed to 1 minute. No, it's I can actually check. How long did it take? No, this took 17 hours. Can that be right? 20 something probably. All in all. And of course, it doesn't count the timer. It doesn't count the time I spent researching and
True.
thinking about the piece.
Which is still just as important as everything else.
Yes.
Okay. So, Leo, we have talked about a bunch of things today. I usually have my list of things, like the stuff we talk about, like your history with art and video games and music and everything. We've been here for about an hour, and I know for you that probably means it's dinner time or dessert time. For me, it's about lunchtime.
Right.
But and is there anything? I know we talked a little bit about your instruments behind you. I don't know if you want to share anything along those lines.
Sure. Yeah. Most of the instruments here are made by my late dad, and I got them kind of after he died, and they've been sitting here with me.
That's something very special, I think.
Yeah. I mainly, well, lately I've been so busy with the art that I haven't been really playing them that much. Like, I only today decided, like, oh, maybe I'll put them right here behind me in the webcam.
Yeah, I thought when we
cleaned them up.
Because when we talked the other day, there were like a few behind you, but most of them were off to the other side that you showed me.
Yeah.
So it looks like it looked like there were more in this shot than what I saw last time.
Yeah. There's 5 over here.
That's the perfect number of guitars to have somewhere.
Yeah, and there's about 6, I think, in storage.
Wow. So even more than what we see here. And
yes.
The other day when I saw them on camera, my first question was like, oh, is that a Rickenbacker? Because it looked cool.
It's not. It's not a real Rickenbacker.
So there was a very fun story behind it. Beyond whether or not that's just a Rickenbacker.
Yeah. I mean, it has all the real Rickenbacker like stuff in it, but it was made by my dad.
That's very cool.
Yeah, and let me show this one. This was my design.
Oh wow!
I wanted something comfortable to play in front of the computer.
Yeah.
So this is technically a Music Man, with just this part cut off.
Yeah.
So it sits nicely on our lap.
That is so cool.
So it's very comfortable to play, and it's my main instrument.
Yeah. Most of mine are Fenders.
Yeah.
Not.
And
not
of course, it has to have a pointy head.
Yeah. All right. Leo, I mean, just before we go today, is there anything else that you want to tell us or share? I know you said that you are looking for work, and you have quite the portfolio. We just saw recently that you did incredibly well with that deadline of Duels, the making the banner art. That was a nice turnaround.
It was about 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah. So I know right now, probably because time zones and work week and all that, we did break double digits at some point. But but we are also going to be sharing the recording of today's stream, and that's something that we'll be able to share, and
Yeah, nice.
people can watch this and check it out. And I'll try to do a restream sometime soon to make an event of it. I got to figure out how to do that. I'm probably just going to download the video and like put it up on the screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has been this is not usually how I spend like my early afternoons on a Monday. So this has been a real treat for me.
That's nice.
Anything else you want to tell us or share? Anything that I've forgotten or?
No, really, just like if anybody needs album artwork, hand painted, no AI bullshit.
That is 110% the right crowd. I had to remind myself how to do mod stuff because there was like a bot that popped in here with a AI thing, and I was like, I'm usually the one talking and I don't know how to do this stuff. I'm like, oh right, nobody else is here that can kick it, so I gotta ban this guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, we don't necessarily take kindly to AI art around these places. We like human art, and we like promoting it and supporting it. So yeah, and now, I mean, the DoD contest is concluded, but Pixel Mixers continues.
Right.
I know there's still time to submit songs for that, I think, and then there's the voting process. I'm excited because I haven't been engaged in like the Pixel Mixers process before, and so this is the month where I'm following it much more closely and learning the ins and outs, which is cool, seeing how it's similar, how it's different. And
I think I've joined the contest like once in the early days.
Yeah, I've never
been way too busy to join.
I've never done it as a primary artist, but I've been a few times. I've done tracks as a contributor for DoD that then got submitted to Pixel Mixers.
Right.
So that's been fun and cool. But yeah, Leo, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your art and your story. And like, everyone, we still have that pinned in the those links are pinned in the chat if you want to check out Leo's store, if you want to check out his portfolio. We got it right here. And we'll it's been so much fun getting to meet you and talk with you, and that's one of the things I love most about this, is making new friends in places all over the world.
Yeah, this has been real chill.
That's what we go for.
Yeah,
that's the goal.
Yeah.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us, and everyone have a great rest of your Monday. And keep right here, because this has been Dwelling of Duels and Pixel Mixers crossover month. All right.